Bloom. I'm the assistant director of the School of Music, and welcome to our new recital hall space. We're actually kind of excited that my mic isn't. Oh, I need to use my radio voice. Sorry. We're excited that you are here this afternoon for this treat. Pat came to us a couple weeks ago and said, "So, is there any chance?" And we're like, "Sure," because how many times does a person who builds the space, help build the space, get to actually perform in the space? We do about 375 to 400 concerts here in the school in 30 weeks, so that's roughly, you do the math, 12 to 15 concerts a week. We program between 10 and 13 hours a day in the space, and we open mid-October, and so we've been doing some concerts in amongst the time when the paint is dried, and literally the first gig that we had here, the president was bringing 40 of the top donors of the university in to see the space, and Pat was standing on this wall painting 30 minutes before they walked in. So literally the paint was drying as we were opening. We still have some things to do yet on the space before we finish before the construction guys go. But this was the hall that was in middle of the building. There was a 400-seat concert hall, and it was an acoustic nightmare for us. It was a cement block wall. This space has no square corners. There's no 90-degree angles. And if you look around, I'll give you a quick little tour. If you look around, the caramel-colored banners that you see deployed are for our acoustics, and the more that they're in, the more you see of them, the drier the hall is, and the more that they're out, we call it the wet. It gives you echo. And so we can fine-tune the hall based on the type of performance that it is. And the underneath, the maple-colored catwalks, those are actually angled down, so as the sound goes out to them, it's reflected back down on the performer. All of the fronts of the walls are acoustic treated material to reflect and absorb depending on where they are on the space. You can see a little bit of that acoustic, the difference in the wall back there. There's two different shades of paint back there. That's the acoustic material that's there. And then behind us here is the choral loft, and then below it is, the students have now called this the bullpen. But there are doors here where we have two Hamburg Steinway pianos valued at $170,000 a piece that live back there, and we pull them out for the concerts. We're fortunate. There are not too many universities on the Mid-Atlantic region, in fact, maybe Juilliard and us at this point, that have the two matching Steinways from Germany that we brought here. So that was a donor's gift for us. So that's been a real treat as well. So the guys that have built this are invited to a concert in February 17th, where we've invited everyone who has put a nail in or lifted a brush or a shovel to come back, and we're going to do a thank you concert for them for building this space, because it's just not an office building. It's just not a square box. It is actually a living, breathing space. So we are glad that you're with us, and we're glad we're able to do this to let Pat and John perform here. So without further ado, that's why you're here. So I'd like to welcome, I gotta get this right, Bazooka Joe, and their card says classic rock for all occasions, from mild to wild. Knowing what's happening up here, I'm hoping it's a little more on the mild side than the wild side, but you all know Pat well enough that he's a painter, and I've come to learn that painters march their own drums. So would you put your hands together and welcome these two gentlemen to the stage?